Good morning and welcome to Thursday, October 29th, 2015. This is Why Not episode number 6. Why not say goodbye to motivation and say hello to something infinitely more powerful? Good morning. Still dark outside. Had a rough late night watching the Mets go down 0-2 in the World Series, but have faith. I have faith and we're coming back. So here we go. Had an awesome meeting yesterday with a friend of mine, Ray Rastami, who is the training coordinator for Aflac, New Jersey. And Ray and I have known each other for a number of years. And Aflac and Ray have used a lot of my material in training and producing some really unique results and accelerating how many people that they're getting meetings with, from completely different techniques of communicating with folks, having a different psychology from closing people to building relationships, and that's a longer story for a different day. But Ray and I have a wonderful relationship. And so during a conversation yesterday, we had an amazing breakthrough in terms of me being able to communicate about the Why Not Huddle. So a few different things happened. First, I said to Ray, hey, what do you think of the Why Not Huddle so far? And Ray kind of sheepishly kind of backed up. He's like, I didn't know it was happening yet, and I really haven't seen it. So the first thing I thought about is, okay, how do we get the word out even more? And I have some fantastic ideas on how to do that, which we'll talk about either later today or tomorrow. But far more importantly, and here's the key, it's understanding what this Why Not Huddle is all about for you and what it's not. And for those people that you work with, if you're in sales, or that you care about, if it's just family and friends, and why people should be listening and watching this every day. And here's the deal. Ready? The deal is this. Motivation is not good for you. Living on motivation is not good for you. And for most of the population, we look at ourselves as needing to be motivated or to motivate ourselves somehow. Motivation is fleeting. And remember this, we talk about this all the time, and know this formula in your heart. Your feelings beget your thoughts beget your actions beget your results create your destiny, right? So it's feelings to thoughts, thoughts to actions, actions to results, results to destiny. So if you're needing motivation, that means there's an amazing variance in your thoughts. You know, if you have motivational stimuli coming in, you're watching a Rocky movie, right? You listen to great stuff. You read something inspirational. You watch something like this thinking it's giving you some degree of motivation, some energy. Well, there's a flip side to that, isn't there? That's enormously challenging. What's that flip side? Think about it for a second. The flip side is this, that if motivation can bring you up, then the anti-motivational stimuli can do what? It can bring you right down. So if you are, let's say, a salesperson, and you're making cold calls, you're knocking on doors, and you're getting no's, and you're feeling a sense of rejection, then that motivation that you just infused yourself with is gone and disappears that quickly. And your feelings change, thoughts change, actions stop, meaning you stop making calls, stop banging on doors, so you're producing no results. Your destiny, ultimate destiny changes, right? So you go, well, if it's not motivation, then what is it? It is something that I call living at cause. And 13 years ago, I was first introduced to coaches that, by the way, paid $10,000 a month. I paid $60,000 for training over 6 months that you're getting for free. And humbly, I would say, you're getting far more in these Why Not Huddles than I got for my $60,000, which, by the way, I would still have paid my $60,000, but you're getting far more in these huddles. And the concept of at cause was introduced to me, which I've evolved for myself. And so here's what it is. When you're living at cause, you're living in a different life philosophy. You're not going up and down based upon the external stimuli. If you are going up and down living, and your thoughts and your feelings and your actions are changing based on the stimuli around you, then you're living the opposite of it at cause, which is at effect. So let me give you a few examples, right? You're watching the Mets game last night, things start going badly. You turn to your friend, loved one, and go, oh, this is not looking good, not looking good. Well, what positive purpose does that serve to say it's not looking good? Any? Does that make you feel better? No. Does that make the other person feel better? No. Does it help the Mets in any way if you're rooting for the Mets? No. So why do it? You go, well, it's just what people do. It's just what people do. Did you do that when you were born? Is that how you were created? Like when you were 2, were you having like that degree of negativity spewing from you just because something external happened? And the answer is no. You learned how to do that. And then you go, well, I just don't want to be disappointed if something bad happens. Well, why would you be disappointed? believing is free. Simple example, right? Simple example of believing in cause. I love to say believing is free. The only cost of believing is so maybe you get a little bit disappointed later. But you're either disappointed now by saying, well, the Mets are going to lose. I know they're going to lose. Or you're disappointed later. And by the way, I was there in 1986. And that picture's up on my wall right across the library from here with Mookie Wilson and Bill Buckner signing it. And in 1986, when that ball rolled through Bill Buckner's legs, I was in box 113A, 20 feet away. And I never stopped believing. Never. And it was an amazing experience this day about the possibility of belief. But let's go back to being a cause and why the Why Not Huddle is critical. The purpose of the Why Not Huddle is to help you ingrain and establish that different philosophy so that you're not feeling the need to be motivated, but instead you're being grounded in a life philosophy where you realize that you and only you are in control of your feelings, your thoughts, and your actions. I repeat, you and only you are in control of your thoughts, feelings, and actions. So the other night I went to dinner with my daughter, and we talked about soccer. And sometimes in the soccer field, her body language changes, her emotions shift, and she is at effect. She's at effect if the ref, well, I don't want the ref to call a foul on me. If a girl trash talks to her, it makes her feel bad. So it's external stimuli changing her thoughts, feelings, and actions, right? External stimuli, as opposed to her staying on her process and being a cause regardless of what happens. So the purpose of the Why Not Huddle is to help you be a cause as opposed to at effect every day, so that you're the one deciding this is my process and this is what I'm going to do regardless of what happens. At effect is I'm gonna be really motivated when good things happen. If my daughter scores a goal early in the game, she's going to score more. She's going to feed off that energy. Wrong. Regardless of what's happening, it shouldn't change the intensity with which we do things, the thoughts we have, the feelings we have, the actions we take once we decide this is our course. You might go like, what? Like, this is like mind-blowing. For Ray Rastami, it was too. This guy trains people at Affleck. He's a record holder, award winner as an independent commission-only agent. He grew up in the mean streets, the inner city of Los Angeles, was in a gang at one point in his life, completely changed his life, employing principles of personal development, and even he didn't understand these principles. He sat back at the diner where we were having breakfast and said, my mind is blown. He goes, I'm living in effect in so many ways in my life, and I'm even teaching the people that I'm training to live in effect. He goes, I can't believe that I've been like watching your stuff and going to your seminars for this long, and I haven't understood this key principle. And I said, you know what, Ray? I take responsibility for it. Because in my success formula, I don't articulate it quite this way, and I will now. So I had a breakthrough for myself. Ray had an amazing breakthrough for him, and I'm sharing this breakthrough because this is what the Why Not Huddle is about. It's not about, hey, I got this guy, he's very motivational. Watch his motivational video. That makes me feel kind of sick inside. It hurts. I don't want to be a motivator. I am not a motivational speaker. I'm someone who is sharing with people technology and ways to believe and think, like a peak performance sports expert, right? That are going to help you be happier, more fulfilled, more in control of your thoughts, feelings, and emotions. Now, stop. Right here at this segment is the danger zone. It's where people go, wait a minute, this sounds like really weird. I don't want to be a robot. I want to feel feelings. I want to be just me. I don't want to change. You don't have to change. It is just you. You've been changed to be thinking that you're at effect of all this external stimuli in the world. So let me give you two more real life examples. These are critical examples. One, you go, okay, so what if something really bad happens? What if somebody has a disability or a challenge? Then you're saying they're supposed to be at college, so I'm just suck it up. No, I didn't say just suck it up. I didn't say that. I didn't say anything like that. Here's the deal, for example. I miss my grandfather. He passed away in 1999. He was a source of amazing, amazing teaching, mentorship, love, affection for me. I miss him. I love him immensely. One of the top 10 people who are responsible for me being whoever I am today and the success that I've achieved today. So when I think about my grandfather, I do feel some sadness. I miss him. So you feel your feelings. But those feelings and thoughts of my grandfather lead me to want to be all that I can be, to employ all the things that he taught me in my life as a part of building my legacy and sharing in his legacy. So I'm not at all saying ignore your feelings. I'm saying our feelings can serve us in very different ways, as opposed to thinking, I miss my grandfather. He was the source of inspiration and motivation for me. What am I going to do without him? How can I survive? That's not what my grandfather wanted at all for me. He loves me and I love him. He wants something completely different for me. And I want something completely different for myself and my children and my grandchildren. That's an example, tiny example of living a cause. And here's one more quick one. When we say, well, what about people who suffer from real challenges? I have a disability. By medical science, I have the same condition my grandfather had. My grandfather was blind. I am going blind. By the standards of medical science. I have stopped driving this year. I have enormous challenges even watching television. I see double. I have enormous blind spots. I have contrast issues. And in fact, if I'm watching my favorite show, The Walking Dead, which is a lot of movement, things happen on the screen, I know who's on the screen mostly from the voices. I have an amazing, I can't even really see the faces because they're moving too quickly. So if I don't understand the voices, I have to ask someone that I'm watching television with, hey, who's on the screen, right? That's an enormous challenge, right? That is an enormous, enormous challenge. So what do I feel? What do I do if I'm living a life of cause? I feel the feelings. I feel excited about the idea that soon I will have perfect visions. I believe first that they're going to create a cure, right? But if, while that's not happening, in between, I'm going to use my visual challenge to serve me. How do they serve me? Well, they create an accelerated incentive for me being, living a life of cause to want to do things, do this huddle in the morning, build my business even faster, impart things to my children, see things right now that I can see, enjoy those things. And I don't mean that in some fanciful way. I mean this. I never feel afraid I'm going to go blind. I never feel afraid I'm going to go blind because I know this. And this is an at-cause philosophical point. I know that no matter what happens, I will use it to my advantage and the advantage of the people around me that I love and the world overall. I believe that. I know that. That's an at-cause philosophy. So wrapping this all in, this is not a motivational video. I'm not some guy who's got a visual impairment that's going blind that's telling you, hey, if I have a problem, then you could do even better. So just be motivated today. It's not what I'm saying. I'm here to teach you and share with you what I've learned over the last 30 years of my life. And I'm being honest, probably 40 years, going back to when I was 5 years old and my grandfather and my uncle and my mother and my father were teaching me principles about life and success. I'm here to share those ideas and concepts and things that I've studied hard and real in books for the last 20 years about how to have a life of more joy, more passion, more focus, more happiness, better results, a higher quality of overall life. So when you hear something like, and I mentioned Good Will Hunting, when we first launched the Why Not videos, Carpe Diem, seize the day, there's a way to do it. It's a deeper philosophy than just words that disappear as soon as you get stuck in traffic. Words that disappear as soon as your significant other or your spouse annoys you. Words that disappear as soon as your kids don't do their homework or they have a little bit of a funky attitude starting the day. It will not disappear if you're living at cause. And people will be drawn to you and attracted to you. You'll be a leader. People want to do business with you. They'll want to just to do things with you, to be around you, because you will be unique and special and living differently. And that's the point and why I am doing this. To help people and to, honestly, huge why, to make the world a better place overall. Am I perfect? Of course I'm not perfect. I'm not saying I perfectly do these things, but I aspire to perfectly do these things. And I aspire to share and inspire other people to make the choice, not to be motivated, but to live a life at cause. And that is what this is all about. Please, if you see the value in this, spread the word. If you don't see the value in this, you're nuts. And I would love you to tell me a video that you're watching and that you're seeing, a goofy, funny video on Facebook or YouTube, something else that you think is going to help you and the people you care about produce more effective results on a daily basis than this Why Not Huddle. I'm taking the Why Not Challenge. I'm going to say this. This morning huddle is the most powerful and important and valuable video on the internet. And if it's not, tell me whose is, and I want to watch theirs. I don't need somebody else who's good. I need somebody you think is better. I want to know, and I want to watch it. I'm going to take the challenge and say there's nothing better out there. Please spread the word. Please watch this every day and watch the trajectory of your life and your destiny completely shift. Not in a day it can shift. The results are not going to dramatically change in a day, but they will in a month, 5 months, 12 months, 5 years, 10 years. Closing note. People dramatically overestimate what they can accomplish in a month or a year, but incredibly underestimate what they can accomplish in their life in a decade. I've lived it and I've seen it. And I'm not talking just about money, right? Because there's people who are far richer than I am. I'm talking about having the life that you want. Having a life where you have the financial abundance that you do, the freedom that you want, the ability to do the things that you want with your family, your children, your loved ones that you want. That's what I'm talking about. Living your life at cost, creating your life and making your choices. That's what this huddle is about every day. It's for teens to senior citizens. That's what's up. Please tune in every day. Read the write-up I wrote about the conversation I had with Ray. Every day I'm posting a blog article that's supportive and goes in conjunction with this video. Please read it. Please tune in every day. And also, share with people the idea that we have the Law Library TV Ask Sean Callagy going on. Check that out as well for just general business and legal tips and that sort of thing. But this is really where it's at on this video for creating the life that you want. Have an awesome day. I will see you tomorrow. Day off for the Mets. Let's go Mets tomorrow. Sean Callagy.